After making some extensive research on all of the ammo mods that are currently out in Cold War, I'm going to be ranking them from worst to best in today's video. Maybe I should clarify that they aren't really bad. They're all good in their own way, but the fact that some of them are just, slightly better than the other, I'm calling it worst to best for this video. I'm not saying that you shouldn't shy away from number 5 or number 2 or even number 3, but you should definitely try them out all yourself and see how they play, since they all have a very specific style and specific meaning to them for all of these zombies. Now I will be ranking them specifically from Firebase Z and Die Maschine, since in Outbreak some of these ammo mods can not be as effective, and I made most of my research on those maps since most of the zombies are bunched up together and it just felt better to get a definite result. So it might vary if you play on different maps in the future, or even if you play Outbreak as a game mode itself. But if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. We are 100 subscribers away from 14,000. Thank you all so much. Season 2 has been insane for the YouTube channel, and thank you all so much for dropping so many likes on the video. Can we hit 50 likes on this one as well? We've been all smashing those, and let's get right into the video. So in the number 5 spot, I actually had to think about this one for a while, and I have to put Cryo Freeze on this. Now don't be misleaded. Cryo Freeze as an ammo mod is actually very good, and that is because after Firebase Z got released, Treyarch has changed this ammo mod to be activated with nearly every single shot that you shoot a zombie with. Now one great thing that came with season 2, as the new skill trees and skill upgrades came in, special zombies can now be affected. Now this doesn't mean that the Megaton can be frozen, but it does mean that you can freeze the Tempest, Mimic, and the Russian Mangler, which does help in some situations, and I feel like Cryo Freeze can be actually amazing to use with like a pistol or even the tactical assault rifles, since they're more of a tap bullet based weapon, and if you're just shooting an automatic or anything like that, it won't be as effective. Now another weapon class that it could be actually good with is shotguns, but I feel like you're better off using number 1 for the shotguns. We'll get into that later. The level 5 upgrade for it does kind of affect more zombies with a possibility of it exploding, but it's just not as good as the ones that I will be getting into later. So that's number 5. In the number 4 spot, it is going to be Napalm Burst. Now back when I was playing this game when it launched, Napalm Burst was actually a very good thing to use, and it still is, specifically on Die Maschine. Now the reason it's really good to use on Die Maschine is because it takes down the Plague Hounds with actual ease. It actually just takes them down extremely fast, and if you don't know, that map is full with the Plague Hounds, similar to the way Firebase Z is full with the Hellhounds. They're both very annoying, but if you're planning to play on Die Maschine, you will have a little bit of a competition between some of the ammo mods, but Napalm Burst should definitely be considered if you're planning to do that. Another cool thing is it will also affect special enemies with the stage 4 that we got as an upgrade. It's very good, and it's really effective on Firebase Z against the Manglers. So if you're hopping into Outbreak as well, if you want to take down the Manglers, which are very annoying, I'll have to be honest, Napalm Burst will be extremely effective on them. Basically doubles the damage, the bullets that are hitting the Mangler. So with every shot, you'll be basically dealing more damage on the Mangler specifically, which is really good, and that's why it's taking the number 4 spot, because when the enemies explode with level 5 upgrade, it doesn't feel as effective with a bunch of zombies like the other ones do. So I had to put it lower, and I was considering if I should put this number 5 or number 4, but I felt like it was just slightly better than Cryo Freeze, since it does actually take down the Manglers faster, and currently Cryo Freeze is not effective on any elite or special zombie in doubling the damage. In the number 3 spot, I'm going to be putting down the actual new ammo mod we got, which is Shatter Blast. Now I feel like a lot of people will disagree with me on this. I feel like some people might even consider putting it number 1 or number 2, but I tried to use this ammo mod as much as possible because I was so curious as to how people are actually experiencing it in such good measures, and I personally didn't really enjoy it. I felt it being kind of annoying in some situations, and the only good thing about this is if you upgrade it to level 5, and for example you're using like a ray gun, ray K, anything on Outbreak, Die Maschine, Firebase Z, and use the elemental pop upgrade, it will activate by itself. You're better off using elemental pop and hoping that you'll get Shatter Blast occasionally than actually having it as your ammo mod. Now it does kind of explode once, but there's a level 5 upgrade that has the possibility of adding on 3 more explosions, which is the annoying part in my opinion, because it ends up, instead of fully killing zombies, it only damages them and makes them fall, and then they're on the ground, which is difficult to run past them. Now it's a good stun mechanic, so if you're for example trying to get out of a situation, it could get you out of them, and it does deal a lot of damage on armored zombies. If you don't know, these zombies come around 20 in the normal round based mode, and they're kind of just always spawned in Outbreak, so you may be better off using it more in Outbreak than in an actual D Machina or Firebase Z round map. But aside from that, it's going to have to take the number 3 spot. In the number 2 spot is going to be Brain Rot. Now this is an OG ammo mod that we've had, similar to Napalm Burst and Dead Wire, which has returned in Cold War. Previously it was called Turned, but they changed it to Brain Rot in Black Ops 4 and it kind of stuck with the same name. Essentially this one just changes zombies to good guys that help you out. Now the cool thing about this one, and the reason it's taking the number 2 spot, is because it can affect special zombies. You can have a friendly normal zombie, a friendly mangler, and a friendly mimic, or even a friendly tempest, which in some situations can actually help you out. And even the level 5 upgrade, on a turned enemy death, the turned enemy explodes, turns 3 nearby enemies into the Brain Rot, which basically turns them into the good guys. Now this is really good if you're, for example, high rounding and you're trying to train in a small corner or a small map. It will be extremely effective with the level 5 upgrade, which will burst and then turn even more zombies, which counts as a friendly, but at the same time they count as killed zombies, so you don't have to worry about killing them. So that's why it's going to be taking the number 2 spot. I feel like it's definitely the most effective one, and it's the most coolest to use because it does turn the actual special zombies. And another great reason why it's here is because it's actually extremely effective on mimics and tempests. It doubles the damage of the bullets and it takes them down faster, similar to the way Shatter does with panzers and the way Napalm Burst does on Russian manglers. So I feel like putting this one higher up, since the tempests are extremely annoying in Outbreak, is definitely more better to use in that game mode than, for example, Cryo freeze in there. You'd be freezing the tempests, but you're better off killing them faster. And since they are so popular in that game mode with the mimics, and especially the mimics are really popular in Firebase Z, Brain Rot is a really good ammo addition to use, apart from turning them to also dealing double damage. And the number 1 spot is definitely going to have to be Dead Wire. Now, if you don't know, this ammo mod has always been amazing, and I'm not saying this in a way of only this game. It's been amazing in Black Ops 3 and now Cold War. In Black Ops 4, this ammo mod was in the middle. It wasn't as good as it could have been, but since Treyarch has updated their game with Season 2, they added on probably one of the coolest additions. Number 1 is it's very similar to all of the upgrades that all of the ammo mods share, and that is that special enemies can be affected. Now, good thing about Dead Wire is if you're playing on D Machina, this is definitely one that you have to run, and that is because it doubles the damage on megatons. Now, for example, if you're running around also in Outbreak, it will be very effective because sometimes there could be the boss megaton, or sometimes it could just be the normal megaton that you might stumble upon, and they do drop like ray guns and wonder weapons, so you're really better off using Dead Wire. But that isn't the only reason as to why Dead Wire is overpowered. That has to go to the number 5 upgrade. On stun, arcs of electricity jump and spread the stun to 5 nearby enemies. This isn't exactly true, because from my experience, it has the possibility of affecting an insane amount of zombies on top of the normal amount that it had previously. So it could essentially take out a huge group of zombies. And the thing with this is that the range of the electricity that can go around the zombies is extremely large. It can go to insane distances. A zombie that is not really close to the one nearby, it can take that one out further away. Now, the good thing about this is for example, if you're going for high runs on Firebase Z D Machina, this is definitely one that you have to rock on the side of maybe the ray gun or something else. This is probably one of the most ridiculous upgrades that we have, and a lot of people still don't know about it. I did make a video where I talked about it, and I did mention that I will be doing a ranking system. So if you're not surprised that this is taking the number 1 spot, then you know why, because it's ridiculously overpowered. But that's going to be for the list. I really tried to tap into some of the things and talk about why you would have to use them in some of the locations, why you would want to use them, and are they really effective. Now, as I did mention at the beginning, do not shy away from Cryo freeze, Napalm Burst, or even Shatter. I know that they were 5, 4, and 3, but they are very good, and they can just be used. For example, if you're trying to go for a high round, you could just Cryo freeze a bunch of zombies. And for example, if you're playing with a friend, they could have Dead Wire or even Napalm Burst. The fact that we currently have only the possibility of carrying 2 weapons is greatly affected, but hopefully when Mule Kick releases, if it ever does, we'll be able to carry a wonder weapon and 2 weapons with possibility of using 2 of these ammo mods on them and making it as effective as possible, going up to ridiculously high rounds. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe. 14,000 subscribers, here we come, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.